Um, Good evening, friends. My name is Shailendra Kumar Singh. Uh, we are covering the IG car electronics papers, and basically transistor biasing is one of the very important topics, and it also contains like a very vital play. Maybe that 2 to 3 questions they will ask from the transistor biasing. Very important questions. For any competitive examinations like IG car, yeah, BARC. For any technical officer, yeah, senior technical officer, technical assistant, electronics play a very vital roles. For your information, I told you that within 6 months, several CSI are going to recruit some technical officers. So be prepared. Actually, two types of exams they conduct. One for the electronics and for electronic engineering. Second one for material science background. If you are from electronic engineering background, definitely you see and understand all the things. I will try to cover some as my knowledge. I will try to my best. What is a transistor bias? If you look at the C, before covering all my questions today, I brought 80 questions. I will solve, and but the thing is that before solving these questions, I would like to spend 20 to 20 minutes, 50 minutes around for theoretical analysis, because theoretical analysis is very important. And in such type of examinations, mostly they ask theory questions, not too much like numerical questions. Thus, we will mainly focus on the theoretical questions. It is completely different from the GATE examinations, so we will focus on our syllabus. So, what is a transistor biasing? Transistor biasing is basically is used for the amplify the signal. Suppose we are supplying the big signals. If you use the transistor, then amplitude of the signal will be enhanced. Some theoretical investigations. Biasing also helps to makes the two parts of the transistor, like first one is the base emitter, second one is the collector emitter. Biasing also helps to maintain such type of forward biasing and reverse biasing of the transistors. So it is very essential to develop any kind of electronic circuits. To achieve the faithful implications of transistors, if we supply the signals like Mr. Mishwai earlier short tooth, yeah, rectangular, we have to receive it in a singular shapes, then we can call that it is a faithful amplifications. For getting the faithful amplifications, three parameters is very important for any kind of transistor. First one is that proper zero signal collector current, and second one minimum voltage to base emitter, and third one minimum collector emitter voltage. What is a proper zero collector currents? We know very well that during the passing the current from the like emitter base to base collectors, two diode is there. One diode is a NP, another is a PN. Two diode is there, and during the passing the currents, some recombinations in between the base region takes place, and during the recombination, some minority carriers also comes from the collector to base regions. So we have to minimize the leakage of the leakage collector currents for any transistor. It is very essential. We have to minimize the leakage current from the collector to base regions. Second one, that base emitter voltage. Base emitter voltage is a very essential to minimize. Suppose for silica, its value is 0.7 volt, and for germanium, it is around 0.5 volts. It is one kind of disadvantage if you compare all the things. Why silica is more preferred and why over germanium? After taking the advantage, finally we can conclude that this is the disadvantage of silica over the germanium, because its voltage to base emitter is higher compared to germanium. It is not a desired quantity. Suppose if you are supplying the currents through the base emitter, it consumes the energy, at least such type of energy, at least 0.7 volt is required to pass the current from one side to other sides. So we should minimize, and for silica 0.7 and for germanium 0.5. Yeah. Second is the voltage to voltage, common emitter voltage, and its value is the for silica, its value is around, what is the value? Silica 1 volt, and for germanium 0.5 volts. It also helps, this voltage helps to maintain the circuits in the reverse biasing, because the reverse biasing is also very essential uh, in the collector meter regions. So all the three parameters is very essential to develop any kind of transistors biasing. If you just you see, this is the some theoretical background, we have to know how this is the, if you look at all the scenario, you see. Yeah. Next one is that if you see stabilization is also very important, because if you are working at a higher temperature, whether our transistor is working or not, we have to check here. So stabilizations is very essential to develop any kind of. Two types is there. Collector current also changes rapidly when we change the temperature, and second one, transistor is replaced by another same type. This is due to the inherent variations of the transistor changes. So in the cases, stability is also changing. When the temperature changes or transistor is replaced, the operating point, zero signal, IC and BC also changes. However, for purple amplification is essential. Operating point remains fixed. This necessitates to make operating point independence of these variations. This is known as stabilizations. So it is very essential. And need of stabilizations is we have to take care. First one is the temperature dependence of IC. Second, individual variations, and third one is the thermal runaway. This equation, temperature dependence, we have just read out. This is a very important questions. Particularly, you just remember. If you are not able to remember, also not a problem. Just try to understand. This is the IC is equal to beta IB ICU. What is the ICU? In the ICO, to achieve the ICO, we have to open the base region. This is the leakage currents. When a base is open, the ICU is generated. In this equation also we can convert a beta IB plus beta plus 1 into ICU. ICU when emitter is open, then if you compare ICO and beta plus ICBO, then ICU is much greater than compared to ICBO. So we have to remember this formula. And IC collector current is also depends on the temperature. If we suppose beta also depends on the temperature, if we increase the temperature, then leakage current also increases. So we have to control the leakage currents to develop any kind of transistors. Yeah. Next one, individual variations. The value of a beta and BB are not exactly the same for any transistors, even for the same type. Further, BB itself decreases when temperature increases. You see, this is some important parameters. They are trying to say that beta and voltage to base emitter is also not same for any two transistors, even if the same type. So it is very essential to take care of these points. Third one is that thermal runaway. The collector current for a C configuration is given IC minus beta IB plus beta plus ICBO. And the collector leakage current ICU is strongly dependent on temperature. Next one is the coming very important points. What is thermal runaway? The self-destruction of an unstabilized. This is the self-destruction of an unstabilized transistor is known as thermal runaway. In order to avoid thermal runaway and consequent destruction of transistor, it is very essential that operating point is stabilized, that the IC is kept constants. Now, three parameters of the transistor also we have to take care. Essential of transistor biasing circuit. It has been discussed that transistor biasing is required for amplifications. The biasing network associated with the transistor should meet the requirements. First one, it should ensure proper zero signal collector currents. You see three types. You just remember, if you are not able to, zero collector current is very essential to. Otherwise, suppose we are making a circuits and maybe that some leakage current also coming, so it is an undesired quantity, so we have to. And second one, DC voltage collector emitter doesn't follow 0.5 volt for germanium transistor and 1 volt for silicon at any standard, and it should ensure the stability of the operating point. And third one is stability, yeah, voltage to base to emitter. Yeah. Second one, next one, essential quantity, stability factor, the rate of change of collector current with respect to collector leakage current ICU at constant beta and IB is called stability factor. Stability factor is equal to DIC by DICU at constant beta, and you just remember how stability factor of a transistor we can calculate out. We can define DIC by DICU, where ICU considered is leakage currents, and it is at the constant value of beta and IB. You see, this is the very important points. If you look at the ideal value of stability is the 1, but it is never possible. If you want to develop any kind of transistors, stability is ideally it is a 1, but it is for experimentally, if you look at that, it is generally around 25. Experimentally shows that the value of exceeding 25 results in unsatisfactory performance. If you calculate the, if you see this mathematical expression, IC is equal to beta IB plus beta 1 plus ICO. After calculation, you get stability is equal to beta plus 1 divided by 1 minus beta dIB by dC. So stability, we can find out that such type of stability is there. So we have to take care of all the stability points. Next one, biasing is done. We can supply 4 kind of biasings for any transistor in the transistors. First one is that base resistor method. Second one is the base emitter bias method. Third one is the collector feedback resistor, and fourth one is the voltage divider bias. Base resistor method is also known as fixed biasings, and it's the more temperature sensitive. If you compare all the things, it is more temperature sensitive, because stability it depends on the completely the beta plus 1. Beta is the high value, and it's around 20 to 500. And emitter biasings, we generally do supply the biasing through the emitter region, and to develop such type of biasing, so 2 batteries used. One is the positive terminal plus VCC, and another is a minus VEE we generally use. And for collector biasings, we use only one VCC, and we supply the biasing through VCC into the VCC. But through the VCC, we also take one connections and put the feedback into the base of the transistors. Fourth one is the voltage divider biasing. To develop a voltage divider biasings, we generally use 4 resistors. One is the, suppose we take the R1, R2, and third one is the RC, and fifth and fourth one is the emitter resistances. I will discuss why for resistance is required to develop, and we finally this is a very useful and vital uh, biasing circuit because it gives near ever around nearly around just theoretically it gives the if you calculate the it theoretically it gives the near about the stability factor once, but it is impossible, but so it near about we get around 10, so it is very frequently used in the uh, our electronic circuits, VDV, voltage divider circuits. If you compare the stability in all the things, all the force, stability is the if you see the S factor is the near about one is for this one, and beta is very poor. Beta is very poor, and middle in the collector biasings, it is S is less than beta plus one. Just we go one by this is the just you see this is the configurations of base register methods. How they are, suppose we are supplying the DCC, and through DCC we are giving one is the either voltage. Here we can also control with the base resistance. We can control the base resistance, how much current is going or not going into the transistor regions. So this is the fixed biasing. So that's why they are considering it a fixed biasing. It is because of we are controlling the base current here. We are controlling the base through the, we can control here how much we can, how much suppose to control the current, we can choose the base resistance according to our desired. So it is, and this how we calculate the base currents and collector currents, IB is equal to IC by beta, and VCC is equal to, if you compare with all these things, we can write VCC is equal to IB, RE plus BB, and RB we can base resistance, we can found here that VCC minus BB by IP. And the stability factor, we can find our beta plus 1 divided by 1 minus DIB by DC. In the fixed biasing method, IB is independent of IC, so DIB by DIC is equal to 0, putting the value of DIB by DIC is equal to 0 in the above expression. So stability factor we can say beta plus 1. Okay, and due to the large value of S in the fixed bias, it has poor thermal stability. Poor thermal stability, it is because of it completely depends on the beta plus 1. What is advantage? This biasing circuit is very simple and only one resistance is required. Biasing conditions can easily set and calculations are simple. There is no loading of the sources. Biasing disadvantage, this provides poor stability. Okay, let us go next circuits. Next circuit, if you see, this is the emitter biasing. I just told you na, two batteries there. You see, this is the VCC battery is there. This is the VE supply is there. We are supplying the, we are connecting the battery into the emitter terminal. First, it uses two separate DC voltages, one positive VCC and other negative minus VE. Normally, the supply voltage will be equal. For example, VCC plus 20 volts and VE minus 20 volts. Secondly, there is resistor RE in the emitter circuits. How to find a collector currents? If we consider the collector current, just you use the KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law, and you find that minus IB RB minus BB minus IE RE plus B is equal to 0. Just you just move from this part to this part. If you move this part, then you will get the these equations. Minus IB RB is equal to minus IB RB minus BB minus IE RE plus B is equal to 0. Then you will find that the collector current is equal to BB minus BB plus RE plus RB by beta. You will get it. It is very simple. If you face any kind of difficulty, please let me know so that I can easily solve and send you. IC is independent of beta and BB. The Q point is not affected by the variations in these parameters. Thus, emitter bias can provide Q point if properly designed. here we see that IC collector current. Earlier we find that uh, we found that collector current is depends on the beta, but here it is independent of beta, and VB value uh, is less, so it is not too much affects the over the stability of transistors. If you go to next, so it is we can say that it is a very good biasing. Third one is the biasing with collector feedback resistance. You see, we are supplying the biasing into collector regions, and through this biasing we are taking the feedback, and this feedback we are putting in the base region of our transistors. How we see in this method, one end of the RPG connected to the base of the other ends of a collectors, and here required signals base is determined not by VCC but the collector voltage VB. It is clear that VB forward base emitter junction, and hence the IB flow through the IB. Just is also a very simple how to one if you want to calculate the collector current, yeah, base current, just simply this we consider VCC minus IC plus IB into RC minus VCE is equal to 0. Just you consider one loops here and you consider other loops here. You will get two equations, and through two equations you will get easily what is the base current, what is the collector current, what is the emitter current. It is very easy. Just you go one side, you just if you are trying to practice it is very easy. If you say I can help you, no problem. I will always try to. Stability factor, if you see the S less than beta plus 1, this method provides a better thermal stability than the fixed biasings. Means what we get if we compare the three biasing circuit. First one is the fixed biasing, second one is the emitter biasing, third one is the collector biasings. We found that the stability of the thermal stability of emitter biasing is greater compared to collector biasing, and collector biasing is greater compared to fixed biasings. So we get emitter, first one we will consider, third one, second one we will consider collector, fourth one, the third one we will consider fixed biasing. Okay. And common emitter current voltage we can also base emitter voltage plus voltage of collector base. It is also important equation. You just remember. Disadvantage: this circuit doesn't provide good stabilization because the stability factor is fairly high, though it is lesser than the fixed bias. Therefore, operating point doesn't change to the lesser. Let us move to next biasing. Voltage divider. This is the final one biasing. Very popular, very popular. Always we will play in the next chapter what is a voltage divider biasing. It is very frequent. If you play with any circuits, just for your information, I told you, just if you are get some times, try to play with the transistors. Like you can make the FM radio. Suppose you are speaking something, hello, 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 my name is Shalendra, hello. You can make such type of circuits by using such type of transistors. If you, I remember, I was there when International Science Festival was they conducted. I was the reviewer. I was a reviewer, and we successfully demonstrated such type of circuits. You can also play, and you can use some how to make the FM radio. It's very easy, not too much difficult. If you want, you can see. Okay, let us see. Voltage divider bias method. This is the most widely used method of providing biasing and stabilization to a transistor. In this method, two resistances R1 and R2 are connected across the supply voltage VCC and provide biasing. The emitter resistance RE provide stabilization. The voltage divider comes from the voltage divider formed by R1 and R2. The voltage drop R2 forward. This is the base. This is. Okay, it is clear from the experiment I see. If you calculate this, it is very simple. So if you compare how to find out the collector current, how you will find the base current, you simply just see I1 is equal to VCC divided by R1 plus R2. Just you will see VCC divided by voltage divider R1 plus R2. You see V2 is equal to, how we will find V2, voltage across the resistance R2. V2 you can find VCC into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. And you also say, if you compare this one, just V2 plus VB minus IR is equal to 0. Just consider one loop and move from this part. You will get this equation. V2 is equal to VB plus VE. And then after you can find what is the emitter current or collector currents. Here you can find. It is clear that above IC doesn't depends upon beta, though IC depends upon VB, but in practice V2 much more greater than VB, so that IC is practically independent of VBE. This IC in the circuit is almost independent of transistor parameters. Since good stabilization ensured, it is due to this reason that potential divider bias has become universal method for providing transistor bias. It is very famous. It is very famous if you see. And suppose the collector IC is increased due to rising temperature. You see. Stability factor theoretically they have calculated and found out around 1. This is the smallest possible value of S and least the maximum possible thermal stability. In actual practice, the circuit may have stability around 10. Actually, it is impossible to 1. Ideally we consider stability 1, but theoretically, if you see, it is impossible. So you see how they are using the multimeter, how they are measuring the voltage, how much voltage. You can see, suppose if you are such type of circuits, you can also design. It is not too much difficult. Just you try to generate some inherent interest so that you can also play with the circuits and try just it is not only just read and write. You just play with some circuits so that you can also understand okay, what is the circuits. So let us move into our some other parts. This is the step. This is the design of transistor biasing circuits. Generally, for designing transistor biasing circuits, RE basically emitter resistance. Generally, we take care 500 to 1000 ohm. Just you remember it. One question in the objective question there. They generally ask the such a question. Just remember RE vary from 5 to 1000 ohm. Next one. If you see, yeah. Mid biasing. When an amplifier circuit is designed, that operating point lies at the center of a DC load line, the amplifier is said midpoint biasing. When an amplifier is a midpoint biasing, Q point provides IC and DC that are one half of the maximum possible. This illustrated since the Q point is centered at the IC is equal to IC by 2, is DC is equal to DCC by 2. So let us go. Yeah. Beta, suppose your transistor has two different beta, then we can find out the average beta is equal to geometrical mean of the beta minimum and beta maximum. We can take one by considering. So next one, yeah, it is very important. It's what I were waiting for you. Very important. Just you make one table and just remember it. I cannot explain how it is important. What is the difference between the silica and germanium through biasing point of view? If you look, you see, just read. At room temperature, silicon crystal has a few free electrons and germanium crystal. This simplified that silicon will have the small collector cutoff ICBO than that of the germaniums. In general, with germanium, ICBO 10 to 100 times greater than that of silica. And for silica, we see, we know very well that the atomic number of silica is 14 and germanium is higher. So germanium is higher free electrons. It is a tendency to receive some more leakage current in case of germanium compared to silica. And for silica, leakage currents, they have a range, they have given 0.1 to 1 microampere. For germanium, leakage current is one kind of undesired quantity. So silica is a preferable. Second one, the smaller variation of ICVU temperature. The variation of ICVU temperature is less silica as compared to germanium. A rough rule of thumb of germanium ICVU approximately doubles with 8 to 10 degree rise with height. In case of silica, it is approximately 12 degree. You see, if we increase the temperature from 8 to 10 degrees C, the leakage current becomes double in case of germanium, but for the silica cases, it becomes double when it temperature becomes 12 degrees C. So we can say that if we increase the temperature, then in the case silica is the most preferable compared to germanium. Third one is that greater working temperature. The structure of germanium will be destroyed at a temperature of approximately 100 degrees C. The maximum normal working temperature of germanium is 70 degrees, about silica up to 150. Therefore, silica devices are not easily damaged by excessive heat. Okay, third point is very important. Suppose we are making the circuits around a temperature is around 85 degree. At that time, temperature becomes our transistor will be born like that. So it is we have to choose a material, a transistor in such way that it can sustain the temperatures. In the case, silica is the most preferable compared to germanium. Fourth one, the high peak inverse ratings. The peak inverse rating of silica diode are greater those of germanium diode. For example, peak inverse voltage rating of silica diodes are neighborhood of 1000 volt, whereas for peak inverse rating of germanium is around 400 volts. You see, they can only sustain peak inverse voltage. They can only 400, and for silica it is also very preferable. Its peak inverse is one can see high PIB is good for any transistors. So in the case, if you consider the peak inverse rating, silica is most preferable compared to germanium. You see, initially what I was talking, what is the disadvantage? The disadvantage of silica is compared to germanium is that potential barrier of silica diode 0.7 volt is more than germanium diode. This is the only disadvantage of the silica. Mostly, if you see, if you read all the things, 95% of the semiconductor industry, they are using the silica materials compared to germanium. Germanium is basically used for the temperature sensitive devices in the semiconductor industry. If they are found radio amplifier, they are using the germanium such type of things. There will some limit is there, some limitation is there if you use the germanium by keeping this file. So let us move to this is the, if you compare all the how circuits, how the circuit looks like. This is the fixed biasing, this is emitter biasing, this is the voltage divider, this is the collector biasing. All the four configurations, just see and try to understand. If any kind of difficulty, please ask me, please comment in the YouTube my channels. I will ready to help you. Okay, this will I will cover later. We will just go for the some objective questions again. I will. Okay. So if you see, first question, transistor biasing represents dash conditions. You see, initially we also looks like we have studied transistor converts from DC to AC, but I also clear about that. L1 transistor cannot do anything for, but generally it is a very popular transistor converts from DC to AC. So by keeping all the things, you will see option number 2, transistor biasing represents conditions DC. And for biasing, generally use the battery. For battery, so it is a DC biasing. Transistor biasing is done in dash the circuit. If you see, transistor biasing is done to keep dash in the circuit. The proper direct current is used in the circuits. The operating point represents a first value of IC and DC when signal is applied. You see this option we have read just a few minutes ago, 0 signal value of IC and DC. If transistor is not done in the amplified circuit, it results in decrease in the base current, unfaithful amplifications. Yes, this unfaithful amplifications is there. We read also now faithful amplification is also very important. And to achieve the faithful amplification, we generally use the we have to use the biasing. The transistor biasing is generally provided by dash biasing circuits. Biasing circuit. We have to provide the biasing. Biasing battery. Biasing circuit is always we try to like R1, R2 for VDB and for also always biasing circuit. For faithful amplification by a transistor circuit, the value of VB should be dash for silica. So VB for silica is the 0.7. Shouldn't be equal to 0.7. So option number 3 is the right option. For proper operation of transistor, its collector should have so proper reverse biasing. Always I say na for collector this region always acts in the reverse biasing is there. For faithful amplification by transistor circuit, the BC should be for silica. What is the BC for the like shouldn't follow? I just say na 1 voltage required for the collector emitter regions. The circuit that provides the best stabilization of the operating point base, you see, potential divider, potential voltage potential divider is the right options. The point of intersection of DC and AC load line reference. This is the operating point. If you compare all this operating point, acquisition points, an ideal value of stability factor is the what is the ideal value of stability factor is the around 1. But practically it is impossible. Yeah. The zero signal IC generally dash milliampere in the initial stages of common amplifier. So the zero signal IC generally dash milliampere, 1 milliampere. Zero generally it is 1 milliampere. Next one. The maximum collector current due to the signal alone is 3 milliampere. Then the zero collector current should be at least equal to, should be always less equal to 3 milliampere. If it is not 3 milliampere, then what will be arises? We will get some cutoff signal. We will receive some cutoff signals. So suppose we are the output to achieve the output signal requires 3 milliampere, and if we are not supplying the 3 milliampere from the zero signals, what is a zero signal? You understand? No. Zero signal basically, suppose we are using the circuits and we are achieving the some output signal by positive terminals, but if the supply through the negative terminal at the same times we are not getting any output. To avoid such type of situations, we use one battery. Suppose when negative signal is coming and the output is not getting, to remove this problem, we use the battery. Okay, you are giving the negative voltage. At that time, I will not accept. So I will give some external biasing. I will give the external biasing, and to achieve the external biasing, we connect the battery and we get the output signal in the same way what we are achieving in the earlier. Okay, the disadvantage of this resistor method of transistor biasing that it complicated, is sensitive to changes in beta, provides high stability. So then next one is the second one. It is sensitive to what is the sensitive? It comes what is the comes it beta plus 1. The biasing circuit has a stability factor of 50. If due to temperature change, ICBO changes 1 microampere, then IC will be, then IC is equal to what is the 50 is equal to 150 divided by just you it will be just multiply IC divided by ICBO, means 50 into 1 microampere, means you will get 50 microampere. For good stabilization in voltage divider bias, the current I1 flow R1 and R2 should be equal to 10 IP. This will be what with 10 IP. This is a very important question. Just you. The leakage current in a silicon transistor is about that the leakage current in germanium transistors. Then you will get 3 around this is a theoretical questions. If you see, this is the theory of 1000. This is a theoretical questions. You just go. The operating point is also known as quiescent point. What is this? Quiescent point is also known as. For proper amplification by a transistor circuit, the operating point should be located dash at the middle of the DC load line. What is the 9 second is the just I remember just the theoretical question is there. The operating point dash on the AC load line C also lies on the AC load line. Operating point also lies in the disadvantage of voltage divider bias is that it has high stability factor, low base current, many resistors. Disadvantage, what is the many resistor? How much resistor is there? 4 resistor is there. R1, R2, RC and RE. Thermal runaway occurs when collector is reverse biased, transistor is not biased, emitter is forward junction. This is the when transistor is not biased, then thermal runaway occurs. The purpose of resistance in a emitter circuit of a transistor amplifier is to limit the maximum emitter current, provides the base emitter bias, limit the change in emitter current. You see, this is emitter circuit. What is the purpose of resistance in the emitter? Limit the change in emitter current. So we have to connect the emitter resistance into the emitter bias circuits. In a transistor, this is very popular. DC is equal to DCB plus BB. This is a very typical easy questions. The base resistance method is generally used as in the base resistance is generally used amplifier circuit, switching circuit, rectifier circuits. If you look at all the things, you will get 25 the switching circuits. So we'll get the switching circuits will receives. Yeah. For germanium transistor amplifier, BC should be dash for faithful amplifications. So what is germanium? If you look at all the for germanium, what is BC should be? BC should be DC should be what is the DC should be 0.7 voltage. For German 0.5, but should be also you can correct option is the 0.7 you can say. In the base resistor method, if the value of beta changes by 50, then collector current will changes by a factor of, and collector current will also changes as the like 50. Just it is considered as a 50. The next one, the stability factor of collector feedback bias circuit is that of the base resistor bias 28 number is the less than the stability factor of collector feedback bias. That's the fixed biasing. I say less than, because in the base resistor method we get the beta plus 1, and for the collector regions we will get the less than beta plus 1. In the design of a biasing circuit, the value of collector load RC is determined by DC consideration, PV consideration, IV considerations. Then we will get in DC considerations. This is theoretical questions, so you have to remember something. In the design of biasing circuit, the value of collector load RC determined by the DC. Yeah, DC means voltage to commit, because DC always decides whether you decide whether the circuit is in the reverse bias or forward bias. But what we required, we have to require always in reverse biasing. So in the case DC is stable. If the value of collector, if the value of collector IC increases, then value of DC also what will be decreases. Yeah, DC will be decreases. The value of IC collector increases, then value of DC decreases. Okay. If the temperature increases, the value of BB is also, you see, DC decreases. So did you see that this voltage will be also decreases. The stabilization of operating point in potential divider method is provided by RE consideration, BC, RC consideration, BE considerations. So in the case we can say RE considerations. This is the first option is there. The stabilization of operating point in the potential divided by RE consideration. The value of BB depends upon the IC to moderate extent, is almost independent of IC, is strongly independent of IC, none of the above. Then this is the second question, is almost independent of IC. Yeah, it is independent of IC because second option voltage to it is not effects on the collector currents. And we see to see the equations. When the temperature changes, the operating point is shifted due to change in ICBO, change in VCC, change in value of the collector resistances. 34 number right option is the first one. Change in change in ICPO. ICPO means the current is this is the leakage currents, and it generates when emitter is the opens. The value of the stability factor for a base resistor bias is the value of the stability for a base resistor by the beta plus 1. What is the beta plus 1? We receive the beta plus 1. Yeah. Next one. The silicon transistor bias, the base resistance beta is equal to 100, BB is equal to 0.70 signal, collector IC 1 milliampere, and this is equal to what is the value of the. I just calculated. If you see, I will give you solutions to my solving. You just go this circuit. See the very easy questions. You just I will not just to see. Voltage fixed biasing circuit. If you look at the fixed biasing circuit now, you will get very easy question. Very easy questions. You will get. I got 530 kilo ohm. Sorry. Yeah, I got it now. In the next video, I will just you follow my video. Next video, I will give all the full solutions. You will just try to yourself. If you are not getting, I will ready to help you, and I will give the full explanations all the 3-4 questions. And next question 38 is the in the voltage BC is equal to 25 volt, R1 is equal to 10 kilo ohm, R2 is equal to, and RC is itna, RE is equal to what is emitter voltage. Emitter voltage we also get the around 3.8 voltage. I have solved it. I will give the next in the video. I will give all the solution in the next video. In the above question, what is the collector currents? This I didn't get exactly. I have solved it, but I didn't get exactly what is the exact value. But answer, if you look at the answer is the 12.3 volt. In the voltage divider by the operating point is 3 volt and 2 milliampere. This is 9 volt RC. What is the value of RE? RE value always what we get 500. Without solving, you can also guess here. You will get 800. 800 in RE always its range is 500 to. But I also found some difficulty how to find it. Just 1-2 questions is there. I will try to solve it. Okay, thank you, friends. Later we will meet again. And if you like my channel, please subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you very much for your kind attention.